Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to tell you 3 myths, 3 untruths that people might have still about Cambodia. At one time these things might have been true, but they are no longer applicable, let's say. So hopefully this helps. But first I have some really good news. For those of you coming over here to visit and you want to exchange your USD, or you want to spend your US dollars, your US bills here, the National Bank of Cambodia has just announced, right before I made this video I read the announcement, with the approval of the Prime Minister, that they will now accept older US bills, even those that are like marked somehow or torn on the corners or creased a little too much. As long as the bill is not counterfeit, they are going to accept it. This is good news because they have not done that previously. If the bill was not past a certain date, it has to be newer. If there was any kind of blemish or mark or tear on it, they would not accept it. And that means vendors would not accept it because they wouldn't be able to process it. So it could be a hassle getting those crisp, clean, perfect U.S. bills. However, they just announced that they are going to do that with no charge to you, the foreigner, and they can vendors can now exchange them at no charge to them. They will take care of all that at the National Bank of Cambodia. They'll take all the marked and defective bills and exchange them for new ones for their economy here at no charge to you or the vendor. That is really good news. And they also announced that they're going to spread this information. They're going to get the word out in Siem Reap anyway to all the vendors, all the mom and pop shops, all the restaurants, all the bars about this new policy. So there isn't going to be a hassle if you try to change a $10 bill and it happens to have like somebody wrote a word on there in ink or something. It's not going to be a hassle. And also they're bringing back $20 and $50 US bills to the ATMs, which was really good. I used to be able to get 20s and 50s when I first got here, but then most of the ATMs changed to where you have to get a minimum of $100 to use it. But they are now going to go back to also providing $20 and $50 bills as well. There will be the ATM fees will still apply, of course. But if you get a marked bill for some reason, or a defective bill, or a bill that doesn't meet their age standard here, you'll soon be able to spend it everywhere just like you would the real. So that was pretty good news, I thought, and that's some bonus information for you. And keep in mind, in 8 days from the day I'm making this video, it is my birthday, my 61st birthday. And hey, if you want to help me celebrate and you want to help support the channel at the same time, I have links down below where you can donate through PayPal or Ko-fi.com. And check those links out. We really, really appreciate it. It helps us out tremendously. And thank you to everybody who's donated this month. I truly appreciate it. And don't forget to check out my link down below for all my books, including my brand new novel, my debut horror novel actually, Pray for Salvation. That one and all the rest of my books, some of which are only $1, can be found at the link in the description. So be sure to check that out. So the first myth I want to talk about, the first untrue thing in Cambodia, sometimes you'll hear people say that everybody has a story to tell about the Khmer Rouge days. That was a very dark 4-year period in Cambodia's history. It is still widely taught, of course. But the thing is, Cambodia is a very young country, like a little over 17 million people, I believe. And the majority of them are aged between 13 and 25. So it's a very young country. So the Khmer Rouge happened before these kids were even born. And while they are taught it in their history, as it should be, because they want to remember it, so it doesn't happen again, because it was just basically a 4-year genocide. But you'll find that people are reluctant mostly to talk about it here. Even the older people who experienced it and went through it and survived that horrible period, they just don't want to talk about it because it's in the past. And Cambodia is a very forward-looking country. They're always finding ways to improve things here. They're looking forward to the future with improvements in business and technology. And while it's important that they keep that in remembrance, as I said, not to repeat that in the future, not to let the same thing happen, they really want to move on. They don't want to relive it in their heads by telling their horror stories. Now, if you go to some tourist places that give you the history of that, they do have people there who are willingly sharing their stories about what happened to them during that period. So you can always still go there and get a first-hand account of the horrors and tragedy that happened during that time. But just regular people, it's very difficult to broach the subject because they just kind of want to go, yeah, it happened, but next year we're building this brand new factory and it's going to bring a lot of business. They just want to get on with the future. So, when people say everybody has a story to tell, not really. Most of them weren't even there. All they know is the same thing you know from history, and there are plenty of books that will detail that for you if that's something you're interested in. So just don't believe it when they say everybody's got a story to tell about those terrible 4 years. Plus, I don't think it's right to take a country like Cambodia, who has literally thousands and thousands and thousands of years of history with a Khmer Empire, and kind of limit that to just 4 short years in its entire history. It's just, keep it in mind. It was a tragedy. It was a genocide. It shouldn't have happened. But they are looking forward to the future. And the second thing, and some people still believe this because I believe they're reading blogs from 2009 and 2010, or some crazy time in the past. When people say Cambodia is like the dollar store of the East, you can buy everything there for $1. No, that's absolutely not true. And even though it is still one of the most affordable countries in the world to live, and that is true, since I've been here 6.5 years, prices have gone up on almost everything. Not significantly, not enough to make me freak out, but it's been incremental. Like one day something will cost 2,000 real or 50 cents, and the next day, well, prices went up, and now it's 2,500 real or 60 cents. It goes up by a dime here, goes up by a quarter here every so often. The wholesalers, the people that the businesses get their product from, they have to raise their prices for whatever reason, and the vendors are going to pass that along to you. But it's not significant, and it's still much cheaper than it is in the West. Much more inexpensive. And so something good, you used to be able to buy this bowl of noodles for $1.25. Now it's $1.35, maybe $1.50. It's nothing major, and that, like I said, that's over the course of 6.5 years. So something going up by a dime in that long is not significant. It's really not. But yeah, I imagine prices will continue to do that, and probably by 2030, you might be paying an extra 50 cents for a full, good, healthy meal, which is, again, just insignificant and much less inexpensive than you would be able to get, back where you come from. So yeah, when people say, you can buy anything for $1 if you negotiate hard enough, that's just, it's not true, and it's crazy. And like I said there, if you go back and read blogs, if you're searching for such things, always notice the date on those blogs, because some of them are from the early 2000s or 2005, 2007. And back then, perhaps that was true. You could bargain anything down to maybe $1. But that's not the case anymore. So just don't come here expecting to get everything for almost free. But you're still going to be paying much, much less than you would from where you're at back home. And the third thing you can forget about Cambodia is that it's full, it's teeming, it is absolutely overflowing with scammers. I still hear that, and it still boggles my mind. Because that's just not true. The government, I think, has done a great job in shutting down scammers in the area. And the things that are truly scams are so obvious that anybody with an ounce of common sense isn't going to fall for them anyway. But let me tell you what most people get upset about. And it has nothing to do with you being scammed. It has to do with your lack of knowledge. And it happens to all of us at some point. I'm not pointing the finger at you saying that you were wrong, but I am saying you did not get scammed. If you go up to a tuk-tuk driver, let's say, and you say, I want to go here. I want to go from here to here, how much? And he gives you a price, let's say $5. And you say, yes, I'll do that. And then he takes you where you want to go, and you give him $5. The transaction is done. And then later that afternoon, all your friends are laughing at you because they were like, no, that ride's only $1. You should not have paid more than $1. And then people get upset, and they feel like they've been scammed. And that is not a scam. That is just your lack of knowledge of how much you should have paid. And until you get the lay of the land, that's going to happen. And it's happened to me, and I'm sure it will continue to happen to me. If there was a product I wanted to buy that I had no interest in, no idea how much I should be paying, but for some reason I needed a product, and I just went in by myself and said, oh, how much for this? And they gave me a price, I'd pay it. Come to find out, maybe I paid $3, $4, $5 more than what I should have. I wouldn't get mad and shake my fist and scream at the sky and start yelling, scammers. No, I would just say, okay, live and learn. Okay, now I know that, about what I should be paying, what I should be negotiating for. And, yeah, that'll serve you better than just trying to say, that you paid more than what other people did because they were scamming you. And it's not. If you knew how much something was, you wouldn't have gone through with it. If you knew that tuk-tuk ride was only going to be $1, you wouldn't have just agreed to $5. You see what I'm saying? So once you make that transaction, if you're asking the price of something, they give you a price and you pay that price and you get the product. You didn't get scammed. You made an agreement and you both lived up to it. But a lot of people just use the word scam on anything that they feel they overpaid for, even though it's not. It's just your own fault for not having the knowledge. And that knowledge will come over time. And like I said, it's happened to everybody, I believe. It's probably going to happen to you when you get here at some point. And just remember to take that as a learning experience. And now you know something you didn't know before. And the next time you'll know better. But yeah, it is not full of scammers. Usually the scammers, like I said, they're so obvious and so blatant about it that anybody could put two and two together and go, no, this isn't right. Something's not right about this. And just say no. Just no. But anyway, I hope that helps you out a little bit, letting you know about some of these things. And hopefully it helps. I certainly hope so. And as I said, remember to check out all my links down below, PayPal and Ko-fi.com. Wish me a happy birthday with some cold hard cash or PayPal cash. It's not cold or hard. It's actually warm and kind of fuzzy. Yeah, but consider that. Buy my books. Check out my other channel, Horror Reads, which is down there. And of course, I got a whole bunch of channels that are vlogging from this part of the world. And they're all good. And I recommend them all. So check those ones out as well. And from Siem, Cambodia, I will talk to you guys in the next one.